Okay, welcome back. So, see, I know you've given 5 mock tests in various institutes and online platforms, but you are disappointed because the IELTS reading score is not increasing from a band 5 or a band 6, right? And the problem is, until and unless you don't get that score, you're not going to be able to lodge the visa file. So, this video today is specifically for you if you are going through this band wall, right? I can understand it's a very frustrating situation because the eligibility criteria is just half a band away. So, therefore, I'm going to share with you 10 insightful tips, tricks, strategies, whatever you want to say. And iske basis pe, even if you are able to follow one of these, right, I am very sure that you are going to break this band wall, and just make sure you watch till the end. So let's get started. Okay. So the very first tip that I want to share with you is a question. And the question is, why don't you want to understand questions, statements, and relevant passage statements? Dekho, nobody wants to read the full passages, and it is not even required that you read it. But I'll give you an example. Today in my class at around 9 a.m., I had a candidate, right, and he's doing a sentence completion question. The question asks, what was banned, right? And he understood the question. But in the passage statement, he's found almost all the keywords and it is written abolished. Now, this guy doesn't understand the meaning of abolished. Not his fault, but the problem is he has a phone, he has me in the class, but he's not ready to ask the meaning of that word. Therefore, he doesn't understand the question, not the question, the passage statement, the particular sentence's meaning, and therefore, even if the right answer is in front of him, he's not able to pick that, and the time that he's spending is too much because of that, which leads to further frustration, boils down to him not getting the score. So make sure, have a mindset that you are ready to understand the question statement and its relevant passage statement. Tip number 2, strategies will help, but very little. And a mindset obsessed about strategies only suffers. I remember around 2 months ago, I had a candidate, female, around, I guess, with 2 or 3 years of gap, she was wanting to go to Australia and clear the IELTS. One question she asks is कि sir, इतनी सारी strategies हैं, how do I do true false not given without understanding the question statement or the passage statement? And I had no answer. आज तक भी मेरे पास कोई आंसर नहीं उस बात का. The reason being, मैडम, अगर आप मतलब ही नहीं समझना चाहते, what will strategies do? Just like the previous example I gave of one of my students, you will keep hovering in the right area, but you won't be able to understand what it is. Therefore, you will fall right on your face. Third, you cannot score a band 6 plus without understanding the words or the meaning of the vocabulary. And ये भी ना बहुत ज़्यादा experience के बाद I'm telling to you, right? मेरा सबसे बड़ा concern ये है कि people don't want to understand the meaning, और अगर वो एक नए word पे stuck हो भी जाते हैं, what ultimately happens is they don't read the full sentence to get the context, right? अब IELTS का passage designed ही इस तरीके से है कि the number of higher vocabulary words, complex vocabulary words they have, if you don't know that, they will limit you to under 30, right? In most cases, under 25, 24, and even 20. So please develop that mentality. It may take a little bit of while, but I can also assure you one thing. Once you start this thing, finding the meanings, you'll start to understand कि how you can even understand the meaning of a particular word without looking up into the dictionary. And this is a skill that you need to build up. Trust me, I've been teaching for more than 5 years. I have a 9 in reading in my only attempt in IELTS. And even I don't know the meaning of all the words that I come across. Abhi bhi. Even in fact, today in the class, I think we were doing Cambridge book 17 or something, and there was a passage on European transport railway systems. I didn't know the word modal transport. What does it mean? And I'm thinking, okay, is this a significant thing? No, it was mode of transport change, right? So don't be hesitant about it. Don't be lazy about it. Go ahead, understand the meaning. Without it, you can't jump a band 6 plus. Okay. Tip number 4, and I'll get a lot of hate for it, but let me tell you, time management is a joke, right? I saw a candidate yesterday. We were discussing his Sunday mock test, right? And on his reading answer sheet, he'd written, I have 40 questions and I have 60 minutes. So per question, I have 1.5 minutes. I asked him, buddy, do you think you'll be able to follow it? मैंने तो क्या ही हंसना था. He was laughing more than me. Right? It was an innocent smile, a cute laugh. But sadly, the result is not nice. Right? He's still not able to get above band 5. So, देखो, my suggestion to you is, right, you don't have to solve all the questions to get a band 6, right? And therefore, you don't need to be very crazy or obsessed about time management. Stop watching these YouTube videos that tell you how to finish it. Trust me, if you enjoy the reading, you understand the question and the answers, you'll be able to do it in 50 minutes also. Yeah. I'm surprised when I see candidates doing it and they're just enjoying the reading, right? Okay. Tip number 5. To be honest, I want to sometimes, if I could, I want to, how do I say this? I don't have words to say this, right? यार अगर आपको चाहिए ही band 6, to be honest, you don't need more than 26-27 answers correct, right? अब भाई साहब अगर चाहिए ही 26-27 है, तो why are you obsessing about getting a band 9? क्या, do you want to become an IELTS trainer? You'll laugh at this thing, but most of the institutes that are managed by businessmen, उन्होंने एक बार IELTS का टेस्ट दिया भी नहीं, right? So a humble request, हाथ जोड़ के भाई साहब, Banji, whatever you are, if you have to get a band 6, just take it. Stop worrying about getting a band 9, one thing. And second thing, एक और reality बता देता हूँ. If you're not getting into IELTS teaching and your minimum eligibility criteria is band 5, आपके लिए band 6 की वैल्यू भी उतनी है जितनी band 7 या 8 या 9 की होगी. तो don't waste your time, effort and don't torture yourself. Okay, mindset के बारे में एक last tip number 6. Book your final test as soon as you get the desired band score in 2 or 3 mock tests. I have at least seen 5 candidates. I know the names by heart, right? और इसमें PT वाले भी included है, right? They are getting the score that they need, right? But they still want to push ahead. Don't want to do the extra work that is required. Don't want to absorb themselves in English language. होता क्या है? You keep grinding yourself. दिमाग फूक जाएगा. And ultimately what's going to happen is the mind is going to lose interest, and ये interest lose करने के बाद आपका जितना score आता था उतना भी नहीं आने वाला. तो be kind to yourself. If you are getting something that takes you to the eligibility criteria, go ahead. Please do that. Book your final test and give it. You will thank me later. Okay. There are, I guess, 4 more tips that I want to share with you. Right, but these are not about your mindset. These are when you are sitting in that particular test. चाहे mock test है, चाहे final IELTS reading test है. When you are sitting it, just follow these 4 tips and trust me. अगर 6 mock test में नहीं भी आ रहा था, 6.5 लेके आओ. I can guarantee you one thing, right? Okay, tip number 7. You never need to read the full passage. And let me tell this one thing to you before getting hate. I am not talking about 5% candidates who are very good with English language. यार आप लोगों के घर में भी सुबह से शाम तक जब से आप बड़े हुए हो इंग्लिश बोली जाती थी. Please don't come on to YouTube and talk shit कि IELTS can be done in 20 days, 15 days, 5 days. यार मेरी तरफ से एक दिन में कर लूँ, right? आपकी वीडियो तो देख के करनी है, but होता है किसी का. Most of the people in our country and adjacent countries also, they don't have such higher exposure to English language. आपका मन है पूरे पैसेज पढ़ो, but don't misguide other people. Trust me, you just need to thoroughly understand 40 question statements and मोटा 40 to 60 answer statements that relate to your question, and that's it. No, don't ever read the full questions, the full reading passage. Not required, right? एक की तो बात भी नहीं है, एक हो तो बंदा चलो गुजारा कर भी ले. We're talking about 3 reading passages. Never read it, right? Tip number 7, right? Start with ये ना भाई साहब जिंदगी सुखी हो जाएगी इससे. Start with the easiest questions and the easiest section first. Ab I need your 2 minutes here. Easiest question type is the question type that you like to do, you don't find hard, and most of the times you get maximum answers correct. I'm not saying 100%, right? And for most of us, it is sentence completion, note completion, sentence completion, table, flow chart, because they are easier question types, right? On the other hand, multiple choice questions, true, false, not given, all four different kind of matching questions, they're not easy for a lot of people. And again, I'm telling you, you don't need to obsess about getting 30 answers right. Almost 20 answers to are word forms, right? So identify what is the easiest question, and then coming to easiest section. किसी section को out of reading passage 1, 2 and 3, you would say it is the easiest to do when the topic is of your interest and there are less difficult questions on it. I'll give you an example. Let's say section 1 is about relationships, which I have no interest in, right? And उसमें एक question type है true false not given, and the other is, let's say, summary completion, right? Section 2 is a topic on artificial intelligence, or let's say EV cars, which I am literally interested in a lot of times, right? And उसके बाद it has one sentence completion and the other is, for example, note completion. So even though section 2 की writing थोड़ी सी hard होगी to understand complex words, vocabulary, you are still gonna get better marks in section 2 than section 1, so do it first, right? Trust me, जब आपके 60 minutes में you are in the first 30 minutes, your mind is more efficient because it has no stress. So do the easiest questions first and the easiest section type first. And इससे निकलती है tip number 9. Please leave the hardest questions for the end. बहुत सारे candidates, and I also include myself in it, locating information भाई साहब लोगों की जान निकल जाती है करते हुए. I see the faces of the candidate and I'm blown away यार, how are they just plain guessing. Guess ही करना है तो सबसे end में कर लेना ना, when you have 2 minutes in the end, right? Let me tell you about a candidate from Ludhiana, right? I was teaching him because I knew him on a personal capacity, family, friends, whatever you want to say, right? And this guy is always writing all answers true. And I was very new, it's about 4 years ago. And I asked him, yaar, why do you do like this? Why don't you select? Why don't you understand? Why don't you do it? कहता मेरे कितने आंसर सही आते हैं? I said 28, 29. And he said, मेरे को तो 6 चाहिए, मिल जाएगा. मैंने कहा, right? तो कहता मेरे को तो I have not been bitten by some madman. Ki if I do true false not given based on understanding, I'll do 100% all wrong. Plus, I'll boil my blood also. On the other hand, when I do just guesswork, minimum 2 तो सही होते हैं 7 में से. And yeah, to be honest, I still don't have an argument in opposite to what he said. So yeah, leave the hardest questions for the end and guess करना पड़े कर देना, but just make sure you make your life simpler. You'll thank me afterwards, right? And lastly, double check your instructions, sequence and spelling. भाई साहब ये एक ऐसी चीज है ना जिसको देख के ना दिल रोता है. To be honest, the thing is, there's a candidate, right, who's given 3 mock tests with me in my institute, right? And now I tell him for the 4th mock test, कि Mr. XXXX, right, whatever your name is, if you don't follow the instructions, right, I will not take the free mock test for you next time. You have to pay me rupees 300 for that. And because this is a sincere, a very respectful guy, next time he follows all the instructions. There is no sequence mistake. Where words have to be written, he's writing words. Where options have to be written, he's writing options. True, false, not given, my true, false, not given. Yes, no, not given, my yes, no, not given. 3.5 से सीधा 5 bands. You are careless if you don't follow this mistake, and you deserve not to clear the IELTS if you don't follow this tip. यार एक बात बताओ. You've done all questions. You are sitting idle for the last 10 minutes क्योंकि नहीं हो रहा. Understood. एक बार check तो कर लो. 35th आंसर मेरा करेक्ट है, बट will I get the marks if I write it in 34 या 36? इतनी केयरलेसनेस भी किस काम की? Not understandable ना? चलो, perfect. So this video comes to an end. I hope I didn't spoil a lot of your time. These are very carefully selected tips for you. And I truly hope yaar ki if any tip of this can help you, you break the band wall, right? And yeah, you'll be more than good enough. एक ही attempt में निकल जाएगा if you have been getting the same result in your mock tests. In 10 में से कोई ना कोई tip तो आपको definitely help करेगी. That being said, if you like the way how I speak, how I teach, if you feel I'm qualified enough, you can join my classes. And to join those, I've mentioned a link in the description. Just fill that form and I'll contact you personally, right? Till then, I'll meet you in the next video. Almost every day I'll be posting one video. So stay tuned, subscribe kar lena. This was video 1 and thanks a lot.